Hey everybody, what's going on? It is James here. It's like this, guys. I've been doing this YouTube channel for 5 years, going on 5 years now, and I've been running free group on Facebook for going on 5 years next month. And I've never been a very salesy person when it comes to teaching cryptocurrency or teaching trading or any of that stuff. I have some courses and stuff that I've always done on the side as kind of a hobby. And I was talking to my students this morning about this. Long story short, I trade for a living, but I teach for fulfillment. I just stuttered. You hear that? Speech impediment that came out first time in probably 20 years. But the bottom line is this. Staring at charts all day and making money will not make you happy. You've got to be able to give something back to the world, in my opinion, in order to feel like you have a purpose in life. And so that's the reason that I've always done this stuff. But I am getting, a lot more serious about it. And I am wanting to kind of do more with it, reach more people, if you will. Because while I can sit back and bitch and moan about all the fake gurus out there who have led countless people off the cliff this market cycle, just like every other market cycle, it's really on me that I'm not doing more to reach more people. It's really on me that I'm not doing any type of advertising or trying to push my brand or anything like that. So in many ways, I'm doing people a disservice by just staying small and treating this like a hobby. So I'm going to do this video and kind of walk through some stuff. And if you'd like to join me on this journey and learn to trade properly, I would love to have you. But I just want to kind of explain why I'm going to be kind of shifting gears a little bit over the next 12 to 24 months. I'm still going to be trading every day. That's going to be my main focus Monday through Friday in the mornings. And then, be hanging out in my Discord and obviously helping other people when I'm not actually involved in trades personally. So here's the scoop. Everything that's happening right now has been as textbook as it gets. Sometimes the market's moves are kind of random and it's very difficult to see them coming. You don't always get a big red flag that says, hey, buy here or sell here. That has not been the case with this market. This market is as cliche gets. There are posts on social media, and I believe I did videos explaining it as well, way back on February 11th, pointing out the double top on the RUA, which is the Russell 3000, which encompasses about 3,000 stocks, roughly 97% of all stocks. I don't know how many exactly number of stocks. I could go look it up again. I don't care. I just know it's roughly 97% of all U.S. stocks. Well, back on February 11th, this was the post that I made, literally showing a diagram of what a double top looks like, which is a very basic chart pattern, and showing what should happen. And that is exactly what's happened. From the day of this post, the RUA is down 13%. And the same time frame, Bitcoin is down about ballpark 30%. Okay? Big red flags on that. Huge red flags. Okay? And it's not like some people say, well, you got kind of lucky because it's a bubble and, TA doesn't really work that well. It's bullshit. It does. Here's a video that I shot for private members. I shot this on Friday. I believe it was the 6th. I don't know the date of Friday, but whatever this past Friday was, I shot this video for members. This was a Forex trade that I was taking. I was waiting for it to break down and retest this low back here and then bounce and retest this level of resistance up here and then further downside. It's literally what happened. Almost to the exact T, right? And these were big moves. These were hundreds of pip moves, which if you know anything about Forex, those are big ass moves in the Forex market, okay? This is all very, very standard cliche stuff. It happens every single day on every single time frame. If we look at Luna, there is a free setup that I teach inside my Facebook group, and I've taught it on YouTube in the past as well. And there's a couple free setups I teach. One of them is 3 Little Pigs. This is another one. This is the one I call the one setup. I did not invent a breakout trade. It's just my particular spin on the breakout trade. So here's Luna. It looks terrible, right? It went from $120 down to $1, 99% drop. A lot of people are destroyed. I saw a post on social media this morning. A trader, quote, let me put quotes around this. A trader went from over $1 million in his account. He's down to $18,000 now. Well, he was never a trader. He was a gambler. You don't lose $982,000 if you're a real trader, because if you're a real trader, you understand risk management, money management, and you would never put yourself in that position. That's not a trader, point blank. All right, but anyway, going on this, let's look at a 2-minute chart. The one setup that I teach works like this. You essentially wait for consolidation, you wait for it to break out, and then you wait for it to eclipse the breakout. All right? It's kind of a mouthful, but let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So the first trade of the day would look something like this, right? There's the consolidation, the double bottom, there's the breakout, here's the pullback, and there's the falling breakout right there, okay? Trade looks just like this. Stop loss there, entry there, 16% stop loss. You're riding this trend until it breaks, okay? And depending on your definition of a broken trend, maybe you rode it all the way up. If you were Superman or Superwoman, you got 36R. If you were just going for a quick little scalp, maybe you got 3R. I don't really like doing scalps for less than 3R anymore. So there's a little 3R. If you, I'm not going to get into super detail because there's some extra stuff that I teach inside my course that takes this setup and empowers it further. So if you were inside my course and you were trading the way I teach you to trade this setup in detail, you would have actually got stopped out right here, right? You would have rode this all the way until this bottom of this green candle was taken out. You would have got 23R. Meaning if you risked $100, you would have made $2,300. All right, that's simple. If you didn't take my course and you just use the free setup I teach, you could have still got a 3R, no problem. Move over, move over, move over, move over, right? Here's the exact same trade. Right here, right? Double bottom, starts to move up, takes out this pullback high, looks like this. At least 3 to 1, and boom, you get stopped out. Well, that sucks. You want a 3R if you took the small win. You want a 3R, you lost 1. You're up 2R for the day. Okay, moving on over. Here's a new double bottom over here. Takes out the high. You're in the trade on the break. There you are. If you take the 3R on that one, boom, there you go. So you got a 3R, a minus 1R, a 3R. You're up 5R. If you're risking $100, you made $500 in those 3 trades. It's a 2-minute chart. That's between about 7:45 a.m. and about 6 p.m. So you probably wouldn't have taken all 3 depending on how long you traded for the day. But let's say you're risking $1,000 per trade. You just made $5,000. Pretty damn good day, right? That's one setup. There are a bunch of different setups that I use, and they work in every single market. There's cryptocurrency. Obviously, you saw the stock call, right, on the RUA. It's not the only stock call I've made, obviously. Everybody knows at this point that I've been calling for this bear market in crypto for a freaking year, right? I first called for the bear market in February of 2021, and I was wrong. It took out the high. I said, hey, look, I'm invalidated. It's going higher. Okay, I missed one. Great. But then I got the April call, and I got the November call. Made way more in those two than I lost on the first one, because that's trading. Trading isn't about being 100%. It's about stacking the deck in your favor so you win more often than you lose, and so that when you do win, you win a lot more than you lose when you're wrong. Okay, a lot more. I opened this little options account on Bybit a few weeks ago because I'm doing this options course. I put $1,000 in there, and then a couple days later, I was like, I don't really want to do 1,000, so I'll do 1,500. Put another 500 in there. I took a handful of trades, spent less than an hour total setting all the trades up, and left it alone the last 2 weeks. Well, the account's up to about, hang on, I'll tell you, I'll look real quick. The account's up to $1,881. It was up to $1,921 earlier, and it was up to like $2,000 on the actual bottoming earlier. So $1,882, roughly $382 profit on a $1,500 account. And the thing is, I didn't even take full positions because I was busy doing my real work, which is trading stocks, right? So this was just like tiny little positions that had roughly $100 risk on them. Max would have been 300 if something went completely bonkers and my positions got totally washed out. I would have lost about 300. But if I got stopped out on my soft stops, I would have lost about $100. So risking $100, the account's up almost 400. Just really basic stuff. And I shared all those trades in my Discord in real time just to show people, hey, you can do options on crypto. Okay. This stuff is nothing like what the movies would have you believe. This stuff is nothing like what the gurus, which is, fake gurus, would have you believe. Just because some internet marketer decided to use really bad risk management and throw $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 on a coin, and that coin happened to go way, way up, and they happen to make $100,000 or $50,000 or $1 million, because I do know some people made millions of dollars on really bad trades. Just because that happened, now they run out there and they start teaching other people to do the same thing, and now people are getting destroyed because they're following that really shitty advice. And if I sound a little bit perturbed in this video, it's because I am. Because while it's fun to be quote unquote right, it's terrible to watch people lose. You know, some people are losing money they can't afford to lose. And it's because of people leading them off of cliffs. We all got to take responsibility for our own actions. I'm not saying people are excused from bad behavior and bad decisions. But seriously, you have people who market for a living. That's what they do. They know what psychological triggers to press to get you to take certain actions, and they're using those skills to sell people courses on how to trade when they don't have any clue how to trade. All they did was gamble and get lucky. They're no different from the people who bought Bitcoin early and never sold it, and now they're worth tens of millions of dollars, and they're like, look how smart I am. You're not smart. You got lucky, and it's okay to get lucky. I got lucky my first year in crypto too. Right, I turned a very small amount of money into a fairly large amount of money, and then in the ensuing bear market, I lost all of it. And then I learned to trade because damn, I don't want to do that again. I never want to lose money like that again. So my point with all this is, if you have not yet joined one of my paid programs, I'm just going to be blunt. You're missing out. Period. You're missing out. This is all stuff that I teach. I don't hold anything back. I don't keep certain setups just for myself. Everything that I'm doing, everything that I've learned and implemented over the last 5 years, everything that I'm doing that allows me to sit down Monday through Friday, trade for a few hours, and be completely good financially, it's all in the courses, period. I have multiple courses. For people that just want to day trade, I have a course for that. For people that want to be, trade options, I have a course for that. I used to have a course for long-term investors, but I'm kind of getting away from that, so I'm not even going to sell that anymore. Because I believe people should be active in the management of their portfolios, not passive. And when I say passive, I mean, I'm not a big believer in just throw money at the market and forget about it. Okay. And like the pancake profit stuff that I did in 2021, April 2021, I told people then, look, this is a very short-lived opportunity. You got to make hay while the sun shines, because this will not last. And it didn't last. You go look at all those pancake projects, it's like a ghost town. Right, you have projects, so many projects that rug pulled, other projects that didn't rug pull, they're down 95 to 99%. The BMONs of the world, right? Who remembers this one? BMON, right? Huge game, gonna be the next big thing. We're all gonna get rich. Buy, buy, buy. Yeah, it was like $1 in the summer of 2021. Ran up from almost nothing to 90 cents, 88 cents. You had people that turned $1,000 into $500,000 or whatever the case was. Where's it at now? 1.4 cents. It's down over 98% from its top. There's a log chart. The very top over here, put a magnet on it. That sucker fell 98.41%. Okay? 98.41%. And the thing is people, again, they'll go back and they'll make excuses and say, well, there's no way I could have known to sell it. Bullshit. Bullshit, you couldn't have known. This is as basic as it gets. You had a level of support right here. It went up. It broke support, it came up, tested it, and left behind a great big supply wick. At the very least, at 16 cents, people should have been opening the parachutes and jumping out of the plane. That is as basic gets. But people don't do it. And the reason they don't do it is because they don't know how to trade. They know that their financial well-being rests on the whims of the market. They hope to get lucky. They hope their lottery ticket gets punched. They know deep down that they have no idea how to make money in this market, and so they just hope and pray that they can get lucky. And that's why people lose everything. It's the same thing that these internet marketers turn trading gurus. It's the same reason they're going to lose everything. A lot of them are losing everything. Yeah, they made some money, because when you throw money in a bull market, you will make money. Everybody makes money in a bull market. The old cliche is all ships rise with the tide. But the tide is going out. And those people are still talking about buying the dip, right? There is no capitulation in this market yet. Here's an Amazon chart. I told a friend of mine, a good friend of mine that I've been friends with 25 years, he was thinking about buying this a while back. And I told him, as soon as it breaks below this white line, bud, that thing is going to go down like nobody's business. Why? Because it's basic technical analysis. A range after a huge parabolic move, more often than not, is distribution. It broke through it, and boom. Huge move down. I don't think people really understand that even stocks like Amazon, which are supposedly these big, strong stocks, it's down over 40%. It is very close to being at the same level it was in 2018. It is literally sitting at the same level it was in February of 2020. That means that it's erased over 2 years worth of gains. Every single person who invested in Amazon after April of 2020 is now underwater. Every single person. Here's a fun one. Oh, remember this guy? Oh, Laser Eyes. This isn't his first time leading people off the cliff. Here's his first time back here in 2000 when his stock went down. You ready for it? Oh, yeah. Let's just go and get that off there. Yeah, 99.87%. So, if you put in $100,000 into the stock back here at the top, well, you had enough to, go buy a week's worth of groceries when it was all said and done. Look at it. It's just doing the same. It's the same thing that happened before. His stock is down 87%. 87%. And the market's not even, let's be honest. It's just getting started. Bubbles don't pop and then a month later go, oh, it's all good. People say, well, that's what happened in March of 2020. In March of 2020, the federal government lost its freaking mind and started throwing trillions of dollars of liquidity into the market with their quantitative easing crap and giving people thousands and thousands of dollars in handouts. I know people got $9,000 stimulus checks. That's why the market V-bottomed in March of 2020. It's also why inflation's at a 40-year high. Now we're sitting here in 2022, the Feds played all their cards, and now they just have to let this thing unfold. And that's what's happening. The house of cards is crashing. But the thing is if you know how to trade, you're not bothered by this. Because if you know how to trade, you're just shorting these moves. You're shorting these rips. In the beginning of the video, one of the charts I showed was the RUA chart, Russell 3000. I showed that textbook pattern, that double top pattern. Everybody should know this pattern. An M with a retest of the neckline often means more downside. Well, this is a monthly chart of MicroStrategy. Double top, retest of the neckline, dump. How hard would it have been to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use this. This is for people that don't day trade. This is for people that are like, oh, I got a full-time job. I can't trade, James. Bullshit, you can't. This is a monthly candlestick chart. How hard would it have been on the last day of February, just before the market closed, to buy puts and put a soft stop at the top of this wick, a 7.5% soft stop? If you were still sitting in those things, you may be up 8 or 9 to 1. For every $100 you risk, you may be up 8 or 900 bucks. For every $1,000 you risk, you may be up 8 or 9,000 bucks. That's not some special ninja setup, right? Oh, I got to buy the special secret sauce. That's basic technical analysis. The problem is, and it sounds like I'm ranting, but I'm not. I just don't understand the way people's brains work. The problem is most people who have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in the market don't even know how to read a candlestick chart. They don't even know what these candlesticks mean. They don't understand that when a big line comes out of the top, like here, it's a supply issue. There's more supply than demand. They don't understand that when a big tail comes out of the bottom, like here, it's a demand, where there's more demand than supply. They don't understand that these candlesticks literally hold the keys to financial freedom. And if it sounds like I'm being hypey, I'm not. That's literally how this works. If you can read a candlestick chart and you can stay emotionally neutral instead of being biased, which it's impossible to be 100% neutral. I'm guilty of it myself. I still get, in my biases, whether it's a short-term bias or a long-term bias, right? My long-term bias has always lead to the bear side because I've known we've been in a bubble. It's been obvious to me for a couple of years now. So I kept waiting for the top, which did cost me money. There's no doubt about it, because there were longs that I could have taken that had good setups, had good TA, and I was a little scared to pull the trigger. I was hesitating, right? So I'm not sitting here pretending to be perfect. I'm not saying that I made $100 million in this last bull market, right? I should have. I probably should have made $100 million. At the very least, I should have made over 10 million, and I didn't. I didn't get anywhere near 10 million, right? But I did pretty well. I've set myself up to be I'm in the best financial shape of my life, and it's been because of technical analysis. If you are looking at your portfolio right now and you're down in a big way, don't excuse yourself from that and say, well, there's just nothing I could have done. There is, and it's okay. It doesn't mean you got to beat yourself up over it, but you do got to realize that you could have done better, right? There were obvious signs in the market, and my options course right now, I'm going to be raising in price on Friday. Right now, I've got it priced at $497. It's one of the cheapest courses I've ever released. Okay, $497. And I would say to you, ask yourself if you're on the fence, or if maybe you're not even considering it. How much are you going to lose flying blind in this market? How many opportunities are you going to miss because you're flying blind in the market? For most people, the answer is going to be a lot more than $497. I'm not going to give you a big sales pitch, not going to do a webinar and try to twist your arm with 18 bonuses, because frankly, if people need to be pushed off the ledge and shoved into it, they're not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy, right? I don't like working with people who got sold on something. I just want people who are rational and logical and saying, well, I can give James $500 and, he can teach me what he's doing. And over the long term, I think that would be a good investment in my education. And there will be other people who say, you know what, I don't give you $500. Then don't. I wish you luck. I hope you go out there and find somebody that you do resonate with. And if you're not doing well in these markets, I hope you find somebody that can help you do well in the markets. Right? I mean, I genuinely mean that. I don't mean that in a sarcastic manner. I really mean that I hope everybody does well. When other people do well, it's good. It spreads happiness in the world. The more people that do well, the happier the world is. The happier the world is, the nicer place it is to live in. Point blank. Right? And so finally, I'll wrap this up by addressing one last thing. Some people would say, James, if you're doing so well trading and you like teaching so much, why don't you just do all this for free? And I have a very simple answer for that. I have been for 5 years. I've done somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 plus YouTube videos, taken probably 1,000 plus hours of my time to do. I've done thousands upon thousands of social media posts, taken thousands of hours of my time, all for free. And it's fine, right? But I also know that most people, because it's free, they watch it and they brush it off and they never do shit. There's something about humans that unless you pay for something, unless you got skin in the game, you just disregard it. Oh, look, yeah, I remember when James made that post. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've been teaching this one setup now for close to a year, and there's a handful of people that have hit me up and said, dude, this thing is just changing my game, right? But 99% of people, they just scroll right by the post. I've been teaching the 3 Little Pigs setup since 2019. You want to see something neat about the 3 Little Pigs? All right, here's Bitcoin. Ready? First high, second high, third high, fourth high. Price, first high, second high, third high, fourth high. There's the 3 Little Pig setup. Where did it trigger the entry? At $63,229. And I teach it absolutely free. Absolutely free. How many people do you think took that setup and sold their Bitcoin right there versus saying, I don't think that really works. I'll just hold my Bitcoin, and then wrote it down 50%. And people say, yeah, but it went up after that. So what? Wouldn't you rather have, if you sold your Bitcoin here, wouldn't you have rather sold it there and bought it back when it retested demand and doubled your Bitcoin and then rode that Bitcoin up? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather have twice as much Bitcoin. It's not the way people work, right? Because they don't know how to trade and they're not confident in their ability to trade. They just sit and hold and sit and hold and sit and hold and ride everything back down. Look at that. Is that cliche or is that cliche? How about this? Here's more of that free stuff I do. You look at the diagram for Wyckoff. When you get into the phase D of distribution, you'll come down and you'll retest your SAL. Your SAL stands for sign of weakness. You will normally consolidate in that area, and then the actual markdown ensues. So while some people are saying that we're bottoming here, the distribution says that we're actually just getting started. Okay? And again, this markdown, very likely that we're going to see Bitcoin under $10,000 again. Okay? Our long-term trend line is down around, 6,000 to 8,000 if it hits it the next year. What do you do here? I mean, if you're trading the Wyckoff chart and you're going by technical analysis, a lot of people will not enter shorts here. What they'll actually do is either try to counter trend trade it where they trade for a rally up to this point, but a lot of traders will simply wait and say, well, when it comes back up and maybe retest the $35,000 to $38,000 zone somewhere in there, then I'll look for short setups. That's what a lot of traders will do because they're going to try to play this last point of supply bounce. That's how I trade. I like to wait for those moves into supply or into demand, and I like to trade those. Okay, and it's a very simple way to trade. It's not super technical advanced where you're going, okay, I need to learn, I need to read 35 books on technical analysis and I need to memorize all these patterns. The stuff I do is very simple. I often tell people that, hey, what I do, a child can do. And that's not, I don't mean that in a condescending manner. I really mean, like, I don't have a big head thinking that what I do is somehow special. It's not. I really mean that once a person understands it, whether they're a child or an adult, it's pretty simple stuff, right? It really is. You're really just looking for areas of demand and supply on a chart. That's what you're doing. And once you find those areas, you're trading those areas. And once you break through one of those areas, more often than not, you will come back and retest it at some point. And those retests are where a lot of money is made. So the video is getting really long. I hope you learned something throughout my 30-minute ramble here. I didn't want to make it, super salesy. I just wanted to kind of walk through and have a true heart-to-heart. Like, if somebody was my good friend and they were sitting across from me, this is the discussion that I would have with them if they're losing money in the market right now. So this is the discussion that I want to have with everybody who follows me on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all that. And regardless of whether you come learn from me or not, like I said, do yourself a solid and really spend some time. I think a bird just flew into my window. Wow. Do yourself a favor and spend some time learning technical analysis, because it is a skill set that will serve you for the rest of your life. Quite literally, whether you're working a 9-to-5 job, whether you have a business, or whether you're a trader, technical analysis is always something that I think every single person should learn. All right? All that being said, please remember, I'm some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. Nothing in the video is financial advice. You should always go out and do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice from a licensed financial advisor before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency, the stock market, precious metals, Forex, or any other tradable asset. So again, quick reminder, if you do want to join one of my training classes, you can find those links down in the description. Other than that, please remember to trade safe. And if you are, for those of you that are struggling right now or taking big losses, please keep your head up. I did the same thing in 2018. It was painful and depressing, and especially for me because I'm bipolar. So I was, I already deal with depression issues to begin with, and it made me very, very dark and very, very unhappy. And so if you are going through that, I sincerely, I feel for you. Just try to remember there is light at the end of the tunnel, and all market cycles eventually turn around. Bear markets turn into bull markets turn into bear markets, and there will be another opportunity. Take care, everybody. I will talk to you soon.